Hey everybody, welcome to Mondays with Moss. I'm Moss, and this is Judy.
Hi.
So, Judy,
Yeah.
last month I've been doing this series, 52 Things You Need to Know, one thing at a time. So the idea being, it's really hard for our clients to change.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they feel overwhelmed, they don't quite know where to start. It's like the question, how do you climb a flight of stairs? What would be a good answer for that?
One step
Yeah,
at a
right,
time.
right. So what we're working on is taking one thing at a time, 52 things for the whole year, but only one thing a week.
Okay.
And we spent some time looking at conflict. Then last week, I did a program on taking things personally. A number of people called me and said, boy, that's really, really hard. And actually, I want to talk with you about this. I wanted to invite you today to
Yes.
first have a conversation about what do we notice about people taking things personally? Is it impossible to not take things personally? Why do people take things personally? And then I thought we can actually create an improvisation where I'll say something critical.
Okay.
You'll take it personally.
Uh-uh.
Really will screw it up. We will be terrible.
Okay.
We'll be worse than any of our clients. And then somehow, if we're not too pissed off at each other, we'll take a deep breath, change the channel,
Do
and see
better.
what we can do better.
Do better. Okay.
Just as a way of demonstrating.
All right, I'll try my best.
Right, so Judy, why do you think human beings take things so personally?
I sort of think it's the natural thing to do for
Uh-huh.
most of us
Okay.
because when somebody is what feels like criticizing us, okay, it feels dangerous somehow.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think the natural response of human beings to danger is either to run away.
Okay.
It's the fight-flight thing. So if you say something to me that feels like an attack, even if it's verbal, I'm going to either defend myself by attacking you back, or I'm going to get the hell out of here if I feel like you're too scary for me to even deal with. Or I might freeze. Some people
Right.
shut down. They just shut down. They can't say anything. It's like putting your head in the sand and hoping it'll just go away.
Yeah, I agree with you. So,
Yeah.
in a way, I look at it as like human beings are reaction machines. You know, many of us
Okay.
think we're beyond the instinctive era of species development. Like there's certain species that just react quickly, automatically.
Yeah.
Some people might call it fast track thinking. A part of our brain says danger, like you said, and it moves us immediately, without any thinking, into flee, fight, or freeze. So we're
Okay.
reaction machines. And part of what you and I do as therapists and psychologists, we help people recognize their reactivity, the rapid heartbeat, the tightened stomach, the tight
the
muscles,
fear.
the
The
fear,
fear.
yeah, and not jump too quickly to conclusions.
I see. That's the fast track you're talking
Yeah.
about.
So it's really not ready, fire, aim. It's ready, aim, fire.
Okay.
That's all at least that's how I look at it. I like to,
That's what we're better off if we're able to do that.
Yeah.
Ready, aim, fire.
if you can act like a jerk, at least think about acting like a jerk before you reactively and instinctively act like a jerk.
Do your very best.
Yeah, just do it well. Don't
Okay.
do it sloppily.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right.
So I made a list of some of the things people do
Yeah.
to themselves and to each other so they take things personally. Okay, so we'll go over that first. Oh, then here we go, guys. So by the way, when Judy and I do our role play, here's what to look for. Okay, look for a counterattack. I'll go through the list first. Counterattack, denial, defend, stonewall, agree, just go along with it, react to the story, give too much attention to the alligator, and do it right wrong. So that's a lot that will be thrown at you, but we're going to go over it again. So let's just kind of look at what does it mean to counterattack. So if I say to you, you never clean the office well. What's a counterattack?
Well, you make a mess all the time.
Okay.
I can't keep on top of the mess that you make.
Right, okay. So that's tit for tat, you know? Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
How about denial? Hey, you know, I noticed I really like to keep our car clean. Last few weeks, the car's been a mess, and I don't think you've been taking it to the car wash.
That is so not true.
Yeah.
I take it to the car wash once a week.
Okay. It's like saying, no, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
It's what kids do. Kids do that a lot. No, I didn't. The kid's taking money, taking the cookie out of the cookie jar. It's in his hand. Mom says, you took some money. You took the cookie. And the kid says,
No, I didn't.
right. The money showed
He
up.
did it. He
Yeah,
did
the
it.
money showed up in my hand. And what can I do? I held it. I was holding it for you. All right, how about
Yeah,
defend?
defend.
Let's see if we can figure this one out. Defend, you're defending.
Defend myself.
Okay, so, you know, the kids are not, Bobby, our youngest child, is not doing very well in math. I thought you were going to be spending more time tutoring him. And if you can't do that, let's get a tutor.
I've been tutoring him constantly. I mean, where are you? You're nowhere to be found.
Oh.
I'm there when he comes home. I'm the guy who tutors
Oh,
him.
that is brilliant. She did both a defend, yes I do, and a counterattack. You're never around.
Mm.
That's a good one.
I just couldn't help myself.
That was good. You're good at this. How about stonewalling?
Oh.
Already? Okay. You do this pretty well. At least you used to.
I
You used
really?
to. Okay. So I've been chewing on something for a while, and I want to get it off my chest because I think it's interfering with our relationship. We've not been spending much time together, and spending time together, and like for example, I've asked you several times to go for a walk, and you just seem to, I don't know, like ignore me. You're not there. Hello? Mars, Earth.
Oh, did you say something?
Oh shit, there you go again. See? So stonewalling is what?
Stonewalling is like putting up a wall, not letting it in,
Yeah.
maybe walking away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that could drive a person pretty crazy.
You good?
Yeah, okay, good. How about reacting to the story, not the fact? So let me try this.
What is that?
Okay, good. So I went into my office to work on my talk, and my desk was a mess. And how come you always, even though your intentions might be good, move things around and you don't do it my way? You always do that.
I always do that?
Yeah, you're reacting to the story.
I'm reacting to the story.
Yeah.
That you have a story that I always do
You,
that?
you always do that, just like a mother.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. My desk is a mess, and I'm telling you, your mother did a lousy
Well, it's
job.
not my problem, it's your
Your
desk.
mother did a lousy job raising you.
Don't talk about my mother.
We're not
I
gonna
had
talk
a
about,
wonderful mother.
I'm going to talk about my mother?
God, no.
My mother's dead. Oh, so is yours.
Was I reacting to the story?
I think you were.
I was? Okay.
So we'll show them later how to react to the fact,
Oh,
not the story. That my desk is a
the
mess.
fact that,
to
oh, your
me.
desk is.
Even my statement, my desk is a mess, is a
That's
story.
a story.
Yeah, okay, good.
Mhm.
All right, good, thank you. Okay, oh, this is a good one. Giving too much attention to the alligator. So let's explain first what we mean by alligator.
Mhm.
So, you want to give that a shot? How do you
Well, I
understand
think the alligator is the part of us that only cares about protecting us,
Mhm.
right? And so, I guess normally an alligator would attack
Mhm.
if it felt like it was in danger.
Right,
And I think an alligator is always looking for danger.
right. Yeah, the alligator is part of our survival brain, way in the back, and it developed in terms of evolution about 400 million years ago. It's very primitive, and it's not going to go away. It's found a nice river in our brain, and it's going to stay there.
Mhm.
It hasn't changed for 400 million years. So the alligator is a survival brain. We have two other brains, so to speak. We have an emotional brain, where we want to get along, We want to bond with each other. We want to eliminate pain, feel good. Okay, that's a higher level. That's all like the million level.
Okay.
Then for us, the highest level is the I guess it's called the primate level. You know, the thinking brain. Let me understand where you're coming from.
I always think of it as like the computer.
Okay, good.
That, the part of our brain that actually thinks logically, that kind of thing.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So thinking, feeling, reacting.
Right. But I do know that part of our brain is very subject to the other two parts, which are older, so they're stronger in a sense. They have more connections, neurological connections, neural connections.
They have more muscle, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, because they've been around longer. Okay, and the last one I wrote down was right, wrong. One of us is right.
I'm right and you're wrong.
Oh, yeah, see, that's it right away, you know? Okay, let's just try
I
it.
can't help it, folks.
Okay, you know, whenever we watch TV, it's always your choices, your channels that we watch.
Because they're the best channels. The shows are the most interesting,
You're saying
the most complex.
You're saying I'm a simple person?
Well, your choice of TV shows is simple.
Oh, I see. God, I feel like my throat's been cut. Like she's right, I'm wrong. Okay, so we're going to demonstrate one situation, and we've run through a number of ways in which you can really screw up a relationship by taking it personally. And I think you did a good job demonstrating in each case. Okay, so here's your job, guys. As you watch it, watch Judy, and see if you can like write down or notice what is she doing that's allowing taking it personally to happen. Okay, so I'm going to bring up a normal incident. It may happen with a lot of couples. All right. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so Judy, I've been working pretty hard in my office to write this book. Okay, and well, I'm bothered by something that every time I go into the office, my notes and my books are scattered. But they're not scattered. I like things being scattered, but they're piled up in different piles. I don't know you're thinking, but I haven't asked you to come into my office. But you come to my office and you really make a mess.
Excuse me, I don't make a mess. What I do is neaten things up. You make a mess.
Oh.
And even though it's your office, it's in our house. So I'm entitled to go into any room in our house that I want to. And when I see a mess, stuff all over the place, I take it on because I want a neat house. I want a presentable house. And you just leave stuff scattered everywhere.
Well, I'm the creative one, and I think you come from entitlement and perfectionism.
What makes you think I care what you think?
I don't care what you think either. I just want my goddamn desk left the way it is.
Well, then leave it neat.
Stay in my office.
It's our house. We both live in it.
You don't live in my office.
No, but the door's open. I can see it. It really bothers me when I look in there and I see a mess. I feel like it reflects really badly on us.
Why don't you walk like this past my office? Don't look.
I need like blinders like a horse.
This is the dog across the street.
That's unrealistic. That is unrealistic, Moss. That's unrealistic. We both live there.
How long have we been living together?
Longer than I care to think about.
You've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, so you should expect it.
No matter what I do, no matter how I ask you, even when I ask you nicely, like, please stay the fuck out of my office, you come in my office and do your thing. Like you're the alpha person.
I'm not the alpha person. I'm just neater than you. It bothers me to see a mess.
I don't care about neatness. I care about my mind is kind of a bit chaotic.
And so is your office.
That's why I like my office. When I go in your office, I get anxious because it looks like I'm going into a dentist's office.
Excuse me.
It's like an accountant's office.
No, it's just nice, it's neat, it's orderly, you can find the things that you need. So I'm asking you, please just straighten up your desk before you leave your office.
No. I'm asking you to stay in my office.
Listen, my way is better. That's all there is to it. Ask 50 people, they'll tell you it's better to be neat than to be sloppy.
I can't talk to you. You're impossible. that went over really well, didn't it? Okay. Get it? Pretty good example? You did a good job.
Well,
Okay? All right. So now we're going to go over some ways in which not to take things personally. Okay?
That's harder.
Okay, so I wrote these down too.
Okay.
All right. So you want to stay grounded, and stay grounded. So staying grounded, what do you think being grounded means?
I think feeling calm, sort of knowing how I feel about something, as separate than from what you might feel about
Okay.
something.
Right.
Clear thinking.
Okay,
I guess
good.
if I'm grounded, I'm able to think pretty clearly, which suggests to me that I'm able to manage my feelings.
Oh, good. Especially the alligator. Would you say?
Primarily the alligator.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to notice what you're feeling, notice the alligator, because the alligator is going to come up really fast. by the
Mhm.
way. That's what we notice with our clients.
It's quick.
Okay, I think also you want to pay attention to the other person's expressions and words. Like, since it's my problem, focus on me, rather than focusing on you.
Oh, okay.
When you focus on you, you're taking it personally.
Okay, so that suggests to me you're talking about being able to sort of be curious
Yeah.
about what's going on with you.
Mhm.
If I'm grounded, I'm more able to do that.
Yeah, I think
Interesting.
it requires the intention. The intention that no matter what, you're committed to maintaining mutuality in the relationship. So even though I might be critical and maybe even acting like a jerk,
Yeah.
you're not going to join me at that
I don't
level.
have to also
You don't
be a
have to
jerk.
do that. Okay.
Okay.
I might act like the 14-year-old, but you don't have to.
So just because you might be upset
Right.
doesn't mean I need to get upset in
Mhm.
response to your upset.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
You don't have to be a reaction machine.
Mm-hmm.
So one way you can do that is by self-regulating.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you self-regulate to keep yourself grounded and calm?
Well, a couple of things I do is if I start feeling agitated,
Mhm.
I pay attention to my breath, my
Good.
breathing.
Good.
I try and slow my breathing down a little
Uh-huh.
bit.
Mhm.
I know that if I breathe out a little bit longer than I'm
Mhm.
breathing in, it tends to calm my nervous system. So if I can stay aware of all
Yes.
that, then I switch into that conscious breathing mode, which helps me to stay calm. Okay. Sometimes if I really get upset, rather than getting into a fight,
Mhm.
I'll just say to you that I'm too upset to talk about
Okay.
this right now. I'm going to take a break and then I'll come
Okay.
out. So it's sort of giving myself a timeout,
Good.
which
Good.
I think is very helpful.
Yeah. You're not escaping. You're saying, look, I'm getting really upset.
Yeah.
So you're taking responsibility for your alligator, or you're upset. I need to take a break.
Yes.
But you're going to come back later and we'll talk.
Yeah, I think that's an important part, to let you know
Mhm.
that I'm not, sort of leaving forever and stonewalling, like
Mhm.
just ignoring what you're saying.
Right.
But I need to calm down before I can really have a decent conversation
Well,
with
that's good. Okay, good. Also, another way of not taking it personally is separate the fact from the story.
you. Could you say more about that?
Yeah. So when I said to you before, my desk was a mess. Things were all over. They were out of order. And you always do that. You're like your mother. Part of that was factual, but most of it's a story.
Mm-hmm.
What was
Okay.
factual?
Well, that your desk was a mess, I would take as factual. Like, it wasn't orderly in your mind.
Yeah.
Like I might think something is a mess and you think it's perfectly orderly because you know where to find everything.
Right.
For instance. So even like saying my desk is a mess is kind of a story.
It is. It's still a story. Maybe the fact is things were moved on my desk.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you say, that's right.
Yes, I did move things.
I did move them because it was a mess or whatever.
And that would be my story.
That'll be
was a
your
mess.
story, exactly, yeah. So fact is, we can confirm it. Something really did happen.
Mhm.
The doorbell rang. The light bulb went out.
Oh, I
The
see.
dish fell. The story is, how come you're so clumsy? How come you never take care of our electricity?
Mhm.
Okay, so we jump from a factual
Yeah.
to a story, and most people react to the story too quickly, and that's what creates the danger.
Hmm.
I think that's what really creates the taking it personally. What do you
The
think?
story that somebody else is throwing at you.
Yes, yes.
Which is something you did wrong,
Yeah.
primarily.
And it's really, it doesn't have anything to do with you, it's my story.
Well, you're upset.
I'm not,
I think that's the thing about separating it out. It's like being able to say, for me to be able to say, Moss is upset
Right,
about something.
right.
It doesn't mean I did anything wrong, even though he's blaming me. It doesn't mean that I did something wrong.
Right.
But he's upset, and I need to
Exactly.
pay attention to that.
Yeah, what's yours and what's mine. In this case, the upset is really mine,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying it in a way, and I'm not taking responsibility. If I took responsibility, I'd say, listen, I'm really upset. I know at times I can be kind of messy from your point of view, and I have a request about keeping my folders. We got to figure out. I like to figure out how I can keep my folders because I know it bothers you when you pass by or come in the office.
Well, if you were able to do that right off the bat,
Yeah.
we probably wouldn't even get into a
Yeah.
confrontation or anything.
Why is that?
It's because you wouldn't be blaming me,
Exactly.
right?
So the thought of you being blamed is probably the trigger
Yeah.
for a person taking it personally.
I think it's a lot.
Okay.
I mean, people don't like being blamed.
No, good. How about disarming? Disarming that might be so. I might do that. Sounds like it really bothers you. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I never heard it referred to as disarming, but
Okay. It's not agreeing.
but it makes sense. Well, in a way, it's recognizing
Yeah.
how I might feel about it. This might bother you.
Yes.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Okay. See if we can do that.
Okay.
I think again, taking responsibility is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Like my taking responsibility, or you taking responsibility. Once I think I do that, and if I do that and it bothers you, I apologize for that. But to tell you the truth, maybe this is my problem, and I have an expectation that you're not living up to.
Yes.
So we could talk about
If
that.
that
too.
would be my taking
Yeah.
responsibility
Yeah,
for myself.
Right.
Right, because I think a lot of, I think in particularly in partnerships or in marriages, many of us think that our way
Yeah.
is the right way because our family did it that way or because it feels better to us.
Yeah.
We think of it as a right or a wrong or a good or a bad or a better, best, whatever. When really, a lot of the time, it's just, I like it that
I see.
way. I feel most comfortable. It's like when you said before, when I go into my office and you've rearranged things, it doesn't feel, I feel anxious. I don't like it. Your office is too neat for me.
Right.
It makes me anxious, I don't think most people
Yeah.
would go to that place where they actually talked about their
No.
own reaction.
No. Probably not. And we're not, most people aren't used to. I grew up a certain way. I've developed a certain way of being. I'm used to a certain things happening. And when someone does it differently, we often get into who's right, who's wrong.
Yeah.
I think another really important
That's
one
true.
is seek to understand before being understood.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So how about if we do a little demo? All right, so this time I'm going to come up with, I don't know if it's the same situation or not, but let's see what Judy can do. I'm going to try to hook her, so to speak. See if she knows her stuff. Okay, here we go. Judy,
What?
I need to talk to you. I can't believe you did it again. My office, I like my office a certain way. I like to improvise. Like when I play piano, I'm improvising. I'm not playing the chords according to the notes. It's my way of being. Maybe it's my ADD mind. So when you come in the office and you straighten stuff up, you're asking me to play in a different key or a different melody, and it really, really wrecks my brain.
Really?
And I wish you just would not come in my office and move things around. I can't find it. It takes me an hour just to calm down. Oh, it's driving me crazy. Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I didn't have any idea
Oh,
that I thought what I was doing was like a good thing because it looks to me like your office is so disorganized. I don't know how you get anything
Okay.
done in there. So I thought you would appreciate it if I went in and I, sort of made piles of things.
Oh.
It was neat. so you'd have a calm environment.
Wow.
I had no idea at all that
Okay.
that doesn't feel calm to you.
Wow.
It's real. I'm surprised.
I really appreciate that, because that's your
Uh,
kind of, you know the whole notion of love languages? Like
I think I've
acts of
heard that.
service, acts of affection,
Oh,
acts
yes.
of buying things.
Uh-huh.
So you were really, in a way, giving me an act of service.
Well, I guess so.
Being
I mean,
helpful.
I
Being
didn't.
helpful.
I was trying to be helpful.
Oh, okay.
And
That was
also, to tell you the truth, like when I walk by your office, when the doors open like that, and I see what looks to me like this huge mess. I mean, there's stuff on the floor and stuff all over your desk, and it doesn't seem orderly at all. Like, I start feeling like jittery. I mean, I'm like, how can he work like that? I don't even get it.
Okay, time out. I'm gonna go for her jugular now. I'm gonna go for her jugular. You know, you've always been a bit of a fuss budget.
A
Fuss budget? What is it called?
a fuss budget?
A fuss budget? Is that the word? You've been always kind of been uptight about things being neat. My favorite statue, you know that Indian statue? You decide a
Yes.
nice wood, a nice ceramic, it's an antique. I loved it. It had a quiver and arrows, and you decided to use it as a book stopper on the edge of the shelf. And I came into the office. I don't know what it was, but I came in. It was on the shelf, but the quiver was gone. Somebody castrated my quiver. And I think you probably put it in the wrong place. Books fell over, and you covered up your ass by just putting it back up there.
Well, it did fall over. I was using it as I thought it looked good that way.
Yeah.
I like the way things look, okay? So I didn't mean to break it or anything.
Are you defending?
No, I'm not. I'm just explaining what happened. But I can understand you being upset. I know you really like that
Oh, well, you
statue.
can.
And if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't use it as a book stopper,
Okay.
you know, but I did.
So you understand how I
I mean,
feel.
maybe I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
Oh, yeah. You're a sneak. You're really good.
I mean,
okay.
I might have been
Well,
hoping that.
I appreciate you being honest and
Oh.
telling me that. I like seeing your dark side. Hoping I would notice.
So hoping I'll be more like you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know you like to look good.
No, I like things to look
Oh,
good.
I see.
I mean, yeah, I like to look good too.
Okay, wow. Well, I'm feeling a lot better for some reason.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, I'm glad.
Okay, all right. So let's pause here.
Okay.
Okay, so what happened? What happened to what did Judy do to allow me to feel calmer? Because my Alligator was launched. My Alligator was going for her. As soon as she went into being, I thought, defending, or no, I didn't, or counter-attacking me, I was getting more and more upset, more and more hurt, more and more angry. But you did a good job staying centered. So can you tell me and whoever's watching, what did you do to stay focused and centered, to kind of be a support for me and not be a counterattack?
Well, I think what I did was I kept myself as calm in my body
Right,
as I could, so not agitated, right?
Right.
So that enabled me to sort of mentally take a little bit of a step back.
mhm,
I mean, if we weren't doing this kind of program
right,
and I felt you were coming at me,
right,
I might literally take a step back.
okay.
Because the more space between us, the less I'm feeling in danger.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's hard to be like really close to
Like this,
somebody
like this.
who's angry.
Yeah.
Because you can feel their
Right.
energy. I mean, their energy is literally
Right.
coming off and hitting you.
Right.
So, if we had a different setup, I probably would have taken a step back.
Behind the table,
Maybe,
or 6 feet
But
away.
yeah, just the distance between us,
Okay.
And the other thing was, like, because I was calm, I was able to realize
Mhm.
that you were just upset about something. I had done something
Mhm.
which triggered you being upset, but also it was like I was able to hear you.
That's
I was
right.
able to hear you describe how it felt to you
Mhm.
when you would come in your office and I had been in there rearranging things, So I think that was a couple of things
Yeah, my
was able
experience
to do.
was you moved away from defending and explaining to trying to understand.
Mhm.
As soon as I got that you were trying to understand, and you took some responsibility, particularly with the Indian. That calmed me down immediately. I even
Did
wanna,
it?
even want to take the lid off your shirt.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
be helpful. It's
Good.
it's an act of service.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You're still mad about the Indian, huh?
It comes up every once in a
I
while.
see.
So that's the other thing we need to talk about at some point. This stuff doesn't go away. It comes back and back and back because we're reaction machines. So when one thing gets triggered, it often opens up the floodgates like an avalanche. And you notice that for yourself or not?
Well, sure, if there's stuff I've been harboring,
Oh, that's good.
especially like I haven't talked to you about it,
Right.
but I've been sort of just, like thinking to myself, building a case against you.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the longer I do that, the bigger the case I have against you, that
Right.
you did something to me,
Right. Okay.
rather than I'm just upset about something.
Yeah, so when you stonewall or hold it in and don't say anything,
Yeah.
it often builds up a pressure. So
Uh-huh.
when I do something or say something that's upsetting, maybe it's not a megaton bomb, but it could trigger a megaton bomb in you.
Yes, if I've been withholding,
Yeah.
I haven't been communicating with you all along,
Uh-huh,
then there is this thing inside me, this pressure that you're talking
I
about.
got it.
And then, so maybe I'm not only upset with you about this specific thing, but now I'm upset about all these things that you did,
Okay,
that I've been harboring.
yeah, I get that.
And then it might all come out
Right.
and feel like
Yeah.
a real big attack on you.
So, folks, towards the end of our broadcast, taking things personally is very normal. It's very hard not to take things personally. But if you give control of the upset over to your alligator, the alligator is always going to mess it up. Because the alligator is ready, fire, aim, snap, run away, or freeze. So we want to be able to say, and Judy did a pretty good job, I think, of saying, wait a minute, hold it. I'm choosing not to be an alligator. I'm choosing to breathe. I'm choosing to stay grounded. I'm looking around the room. I'm not unsafe. I'm not in real danger. It's Moss's problem, not my problem. Let me see if I could at least try to understand, take some responsibility, and whatever she did, I could feel the change in my feelings and my body. So hopefully this gave you some idea of how to screw up a conversation so the other person takes it personally. And maybe that's how you take it personally. And how, you might trigger your partner, whether or not it's your spouse, your friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, your child, your boss. Because we take this taking personally all over the place. And I think it was Ruiz, R-U-I-Z, who wrote the book, The Four Agreements. He says, the hardest one is not to take it personally. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to watch the two of us, and hopefully we're able to demonstrate how to screw it up, but how to rebuild. Okay. Anyway, that's it. Anything else you want to say about that?
No, I think you did a great job.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. It was a good job. Thanks.
Mwah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take some of the suggestions, how to screw up, how to make it better, along with the video, and that will be available for you when my assistant types out these. I'll get it to her, and she'll just type them so you can see them, and you can take a look at, are you doing any of them? So my suggestion for the next week is look at, what are you taking personally? As you go through the week, take out your notebook, keep a log, saying, this is what happened, and I think I could feel it in my body, I got upset, I've been carrying it around, I don't like it, she's wrong, maybe you counterattack, and see if you can notice. Noticing is a really, really powerful. If you don't notice what you're going through, even blaming, say, hey, look, I'm doing a blaming. It's not even you doing the blaming. Blaming is just doing blaming. But if you write it down, you can at least see it at the end of the week and see your patterns. One thing at a time. This week, taking it personally, not taking it personally. So until next Monday, and by the way, we got a really good response a couple of weeks ago when we did Judy and I did this, so I hope this kind of fits into the pattern. We had almost 1,500 views. Really appreciate that. So if you like it, hit like, okay? And come back and visit us. And if you don't, I don't take it personally. Bye-bye.